Hello, my friends. It's been so long. I am jumping on here from my car because I know when I get home it's just going to be, I'm just not going to make time. So I have to run to the bank, and I am running in all my glory. So anyway, that's beside the point. So we're redoing day 23 and recommitting to finish out this week strong. I want to apologize, but I think that our society uses "I'm sorry" too loosely. I'm sorry that the meditations have stopped, but I'm not sorry that I honored myself and that I took a much needed break. Apparently my body was telling me to change things up this week. So I believe that I got hit with dehydration first part of this week, and it kicked my butt all week. It was, similar to flu, like body aches, all of that stuff. So we're not going to get into that, and it doesn't really matter. But what I did this week is I honored myself, and I honored me for, actually real quick, I'm going to put this on Do Not Disturb because I know that will happen. Hold on one sec. Okay. So I took this week to honor myself, and I want you all to do the same when it's needed for you. And don't apologize. Don't apologize for honoring yourself. Don't apologize for taking care of yourself. It's so easy for us to naturally apologize for something that we need to do. I'm sorry, it's just we just use it quite often, and so I'm not sorry that I had to take care of myself. I am sorry that we had a little bit of a break, but the great thing is that we are developing our practice to do this just as a practice and to commit. Every day is a new day, so we can always recommit. But I guess I'm using this time to be able to remind you guys that you come first. And if we're going to talk more about this in Mindful Nation, because I really feel like this is something that would serve people. But when you get ill and when you get sick, it's usually, how do I explain this? Because it's been something that's been on my mind this week. But yeah, it's an ailment. Yeah, it's something that, you might have picked up from somebody. But usually it's a way for your body to say, time out. Enough is enough. And there's a lot that we can learn from being sick, and allowing our physical body to feel what it needs to feel. For me, to this week, being hit with dehydration, I drink water, but I'll be honest, I'm not like a guru. My friend Sarah and I, we tried to do the gallon challenge, and I failed miserably. But I get in at least typically about 60 ounces, but this last weekend I didn't do that, and I didn't take it seriously. And water is so important for us. And so I realized through all of this that it was like that shaking wake up call, Stephanie, you need to drink water. That's exactly what my body was saying. So it shut down, completely shut down. And you know what the ironic thing, and not ironic, but the cool thing, that when you get in tune with your body and you actually listen to it, it typically tells you what's going on. So for Monday night, we went to a barbecue, had a really good time. I had a couple of beers, but nothing crazy. And I got home and I was having the chills, and I kind of sat there for a minute, and my body says you're dehydrated. But I didn't really listen to it because the thought of drinking water, I don't know, it just didn't sound good. And then I woke up on 4th of July and it was like, you're down. And I knew it. I knew it from the get-go before, and I've never had, that I know of, I've never been sick with dehydration, so I didn't know what the symptoms were. I didn't know what to be looking for. So my body knew. Okay, so now that that's all out of the way, take care of yourself. Don't apologize for taking care of yourself. Honor yourself always. And I see this a lot with mothers, including myself, is that we always feel like, because we're the caretakers, and women do this in general, but we're the caretakers, that we feel like we have to apologize when we actually have to take care of ourselves. And that's not the way it works. So today's meditation, I'm driving to the store and it just came to me. And so I'm like, you know what? I got to do it. It's about forgiveness. Because my old self in the past, I would have beat myself up. Like, I failed this 30 days of meditation with you guys. I failed you. I failed everybody. And I probably wouldn't have jumped back on and admitted that I had to take a break. And I would have just said, no big deal. And I probably would have judged myself and I would have criticized myself. And the new Stephanie, that's not the way it works. It needed to happen. But it takes practice to get to that point. And like you see it. For the next day, I challenge you, look at your Facebook feed. Look at how people criticize themselves so easily. Like, oh, I'm a dummy. I forgot to, I don't know. I can't think of examples. I should have looked at my Facebook feed before this because I would have been able to get examples. But just be aware and watch people. Watch what they're doing. Watch what you're saying to yourself. Like, when you forget something, how are you speaking to yourself? And is it in a loving fashion? Is it in a way that serves you the best, or is it pure judgment? So today we're going to go into our meditation and offer forgiveness to ourselves. So while you get into your meditative states, just take your deep breaths in, be there for a moment, and just ask yourself, what do I get to forgive myself for? Okay, just ask that question. What do I get to forgive myself for? And then we're going to be about it for about 5 minutes. And when the first thing that comes to your mind about what you get to forgive yourself for, be with it. Don't judge it. Don't say, that's petty, or no, that's too big, or whatever it is. Like, say, okay. And then now take that deep breath in and say, I forgive me. I forgive me for this. And just sit in your moment of silence and sit in your moment of forgiveness where you feel that love from your heart. We did that meditation from our heart, like that nose in our heart, breathing in and breathing out. Like, take it and really say, you know what? I'm okay. Like, I'm okay that this happened, or I forgive myself for this. And really just breathe it in and just feel it. And if you have questions, like, we're getting to the end of this 30 days, and we're obviously going to keep doing stuff, but if you have questions of what does it mean to feel forgiveness? What does it mean to receive that love, that inside? Let's talk one-on-one, because that's really where I'm getting at. I'm ready to really make this, see if I can help you, assist you in guiding you to where you need to go. So get into your state, get into that deep breath, and then ask, what do I get to forgive myself for? In this moment, what do I get to forgive myself for? Be very specific, okay? So in this moment, what do I get to forgive myself for? And it's not a have to, it's a get to. Remember that. And then be with that, and whatever pops into your mind, be with it and say, I forgive myself for this. And you can just do this all in your head. You don't have to do this out loud. And then be in that forgiveness, be in that gratitude that you had the courage to take this opportunity to forgive yourself, because a lot of people don't, and then they just keep beating themselves up, and then they keep repeating that story in their head. And then if you want to continue this and say, okay, what else do I get to forgive myself for? And then allow the next thing to come in, and then, okay, what else? Or just be with that one thing and say, this is a big deal for me. I'm finally taking the time to forgive myself, and do it. Okay, so I found this awesome XM station, so we're gonna turn up this little spa music. I'm in my car, and we're gonna be about this. So in this moment, what do I get to forgive myself for? Okay, you guys enjoy. want you guys, actually, come out of your space and just take a minute to reflect on how you're feeling right now. I know for me, I'm feeling really peaceful and just really in gratitude that it is this simple. We just overcomplicate things. And I want to remind you that just because you say you forgive yourself, that doesn't mean that this thing is not going to come back up again. That forgiveness it will happen continually over time. And then eventually that, like when you feel that, when you think of that thing you wanted to forgive yourself, like for me, okay, the thing that came to me, the first thing that came, I don't feel like sharing, but the second thing was about money awareness. Like you probably have heard like money scarcity, money abundance, or not just scarcity, abundance, wealth, all that. And it came to me that I got to forgive myself for having a scarcity mindset for physical money, physical cash. Okay. And it was so random because I haven't even been thinking about that. And what I did was I told myself, I forgive myself for having a scarcity mindset about money, about cash. What I'm choosing to do is be a money magnet. And so I felt this was, to me, was a aha, that like I got to forgive myself first, but then replace it with what I desire. And what I desire is to be a cash magnet. Like that's what I desire. And so by taking this moment to really go deep within, and that needed to come out, obviously that needed to come out, to go within, let those thoughts come out, let them come to your consciousness so that you can then forgive and move forward and replace those thoughts with what you actually desire, not what you lack or what you don't, or what you obviously need to forgive yourself for. So I hope that brought a little bit of clarity of what this exercise was about. And try it again where I'm not here, and ask even, whether you want to forgive yourself, forgive others, whatever it is, just take a moment to forgive yourself. And maybe at that moment say, I forgive myself for this, and then I desire to replace it with this. So whatever works for you. But give me a thumbs up, give me a like if this makes sense for you, so I just get some feedback. So anyway, I love you all, and I'm looking forward to finishing out this week strong and having a fantastic July. So see you guys.